A while back, I reviewed the Tangzu Zetian Wu, which I thought was quite a nice pair, and that set me thinking of some really big, real life-changing questions. How can that be better? I remember the original Wu Zetian to be a fun-sounding pair that has a megaton of bass, especially great for those of you who like sub-bass and mid-bass. But it kind of lacks the articulation and can come across as lacking in a bit of the fine details, especially in the bass department. Now the Heyday here changes just that. Let's go! So the thing is, with regards to this Heyday, I have a friend who was so kind to loan it to me. I'm eternally grateful for that. You know who you are, and you are a 5-star person. I mean, honestly, if you're just a small-time YouTuber, you kinda gotta bootstrap stuff together to make it work, so thank you very much. Anyways, built on the Heyday is fantastic. It is much better from the wannabe clone of the original, that if you squint just hard enough and just maybe, you can maybe make it out to be a silhouette of a very nice pair of vision ears. If it still does not look like a pair of vision ears, just squint a bit harder. Now, this time around, it features a metal chassis that can pound the original to smithereens. It feels of good quality and has a very nice balance of heft, and the metal used actually makes it feel much better than the cheap sweatshop plastic that it was made before from. I really actually like the warm grey colour on it as well. Honestly, this is a major improvement. Now the Heyday has a 2-pin termination which allows you to change to whatever cable you'd like. The cable here is silver-plated copper. The blue sheath on it is rather appealing, I'd say. Of course, it is a 2-pin, but so the thing about the cable is that it also has an interchangeable plug system. It makes it easy to swap between your preferred termination. Personally, I'm not a fan of this design as the plugs are only friction fit. In terms of ergonomics, they extend out a bit too much until it becomes quite dangerous for you to use with your DAP. You can apply quite a lot of torque on the female end of your connector and potentially damaging it, as it is basically really extending out too long, and this makes it very easy to catch onto other things. Now inside the chassis, it's a 14.5mm planar magnetic driver. Next, let's move on to sound. I think that there is a major improvement in terms of sound that makes the original really obsolete. The Heyday is more balanced as compared to the bass-leaning original. As such, this makes it way more friendly to a larger pool of genres. It has ample amounts of bass but adds a layer of control that the original sometimes struggle with. The transition between the bass to the mid-range is less drastic, allowing it to be friendlier in terms of sound. It is less V-shaped sounding compared to the original, with slightly elevated mid-range compared to the original. Now, bass on the Heyday is much improved from the Zetian Wu, adopting the less is more concept Tangzu level up bass rendering on the Heyday. Control is more evident on the Heyday and it is quite enjoyable. Sub-bass is tight with good rumble. I think the reduced quantity allows for more details to be rendered. The result is significantly less bloat than before. Speed on the Heyday is also faster than the original from the reduced quantities, allowing the driver to keep up better. I find mid-bass to taper off a little bit more on the Heyday. As such, you get more of a sub-bass experience. I like that, but I'm not really complaining as the mid-bass is plenty sufficient. Bass guitars here have good texture, kick drums sound tight. Overall, I think it is a much better showing than the original, with improved resolution and tightness. Now mid-range on the Heyday sounds more refined due to the better control of bass. I find that they are neutral in tonal color. I like how it's overall pretty smooth sounding with above average level of details. Male vocals here, because of the smoothness, can sound similar to the mid-bass tonality. It does not bleed, but separation isn't as much as I like. But also, to be fair, because of this, it makes it smooth. So for me, I just wish for this to be a bit more distinct. Now, female vocals, on the other hand, have a very velvety character with separation that is much better than that of the male vocals. So if you listen to a lot of weed music, you might enjoy this quite a bit more. I do find that guitar or keyboard riffs rendered here can do a bit better with separation. I would have liked to pick up the layers of music a bit easier. Now, treble here is unobstructive. What I mean is that they do not overextend themselves, with cymbals being adequately shimmery that retreats quite quickly. I do wish for a bit more treble presence though. As it stands, a slightly elevated treble presence can lift the mid-range and add more definition. But at its current level, I do not find the mid-range to be sibilant and relatively easy going to listen to. Soundstage, with regards to width and height, the Heydays are an improvement over the original, but I don't think that it level up to another class above. Positioning and depth, I think they can be a bit more precise. Depth has also improved as the quality of bass improves, resulting in better rendering of depth. Now the important question, comparisons versus the 7Hz timeless AE. Let the battle of the planars begin. So the timeless AE has a better upper mid and treble response, and as a result sounds livelier compared to the Heyday. It is more nimble in tonality, and overall levels of detail on the timeless, it's more obvious. The Heyday, on the other hand, is a more relaxed listen. Extension on the Heyday isn't as elaborate as the timeless AE, but you actually get the thicker bass response on the Heyday. It does sound a bit more blunt compared to the timeless. So if you're the type of person who likes a thicker bass response, I think the Heyday is a pretty good choice. But for the way I listen to music, I like to pick apart layers of music and like to savor them bit by bit. As such, I prefer the timeless AE quite a bit better. But I think that they are both different enough to warrant owning both. And finally, in conclusion, now the Heyday is for sure an improvement over the original Zetian Wu. It is still V-shaped, but a milder one at that. I like how they improved the bass rendering over the original, of which quantity is reduced but improved with regards to resolution and speed. Build quality is also much improved. If you already have the original Wu Zetian, should you upgrade to the Heyday? That I think is not required. I think you're better off getting a complementary signature such as the timeless AE when you want to critically listen. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching the Super Chong Super Audio Show. I hope you liked today's episode where I talk about the Tangzu Heyday. It's been a fun one. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It is perfect for relaxed listening. It's just that for me, when I want to actively listen, I choose something else. But hey, you know, sometimes you just need background music in your life, right? And this earphone is perfect for that. If you like the content so far, please kindly press the like and subscribe button somewhere down below. It will be immensely helpful for me to regain my sanity. And just please press the like and subscribe button. If you do, you're 5-star watchers. You're very nice people. And with that said, I gotta make a move now, and I'll see you guys soon.